What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the PTSD podcast, and we have a pretty good topic today. But make sure you guys go to the YouTube channel and subscribe to PTSD 101 Talk, Pico City, on YouTube, and leave any comments or any suggestions as topics that y'all want us to talk about. But today's topic is basically our thoughts on abortion. And what the hell is y'all laughing at? Yeah, today we're talking about abortion. And, before I even get my thoughts on it, I'm going to give it to Sean because I can't stop laughing.
This is Robo Nigga. You on the rap? Yeah. Here come Robo Niggas. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the topic for today, and we're going to get Sean's thoughts first on abortion.
All right, Sean, what you think about abortion?
All right. So just like Dre said, he's going to pass it to me. I'm going to give my 2 cents, me personally, on abortion. To me, it's not really that of a concern, but I will say this. For, like, you know, the women that have babies and everything, and they decide on getting an abortion, which is, to be honest with you, that's a pretty hefty choice. It's it's a pretty hefty choice. But with the guys, you know, guys and girls, they have babies and everything. Say like the man wants the child and then the woman doesn't. Mm-hmm. But she's taking that. To me, she's taking that option away from the man to becoming a father, which he's always dreamed of. And that, in that case, I would understand that frustration and everything. But with abortion, I don't know. I can't really say much because I never really gave her really much thought, and I never really dove deep into it. It's just like, you know, her body, her choice, all that stuff. It's really, to me, I really don't care at this point. I mean, abortion and everything. If you want to keep the baby, you can. If you want to, get rid of the baby and everything. Yes, it is a human life. Unfortunately, yes, it is. You taking away a life at that point. And it's funny because we actually had a discussion about that in school. Mm-hmm. It was a couple of years ago. It was like, is abortion, killing sentient human life and everything? And then one side said yes, the other side said no. I personally stood on the side with yes. Because even though it isn't, fully a human being yet, like fully grown, you're the woman is cutting that choice off from that becoming into a, developing into a full human being. So she's kind of like pulling the plug short. Yeah. So I personally still on the choice where yes, it is taking a human life. But as I said, I really just didn't give much thought to it, but I do understand why it's so controversial, and I do understand why it's like such a heavy topic because, the woman's womb is the most important. It's the most important thing that a woman could give to a man. Their womb and like the seed. It's the most important thing to a man. His father and his mother giving the child. Okay, so when she has the option to take that away, and like I said earlier, even if the man is ready, like I want to do this. Mm-hmm. She could just switch up. No, I don't. And she has the option with that. True. Whether he has this say or not. Whether he argues to the teeth, whether he argues to the bone with her, this is my, I want to raise this child. I want this to be, us or a family and everything. She has the final say. So I do understand that frustration there for you.
Now, do you feel like men should have a say in that? Because a lot of, we all understand that women pretty much have the power to determine basically if they want to have the baby or not. But if the father wants to have the baby and the mother doesn't, mm-hmm. What power does the father have in that particular situation? Because it's like a man can sit there and say, "Yeah, I want the child," but if the mom, if she's the one giving birth to the child, mm-hmm. everybody's saying that she has the final say so in that. If you know what I'm saying, so it's like it takes two people to create a child, but one person that participated in basically giving away that seed mm-hmm. doesn't have the power to dictate rather if that seed should be born or not.
I got
You
you.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
some women feel like just because they're giving birth to it, they have the final say so.
Right. I would say this: the man does have power. The man does have power in that particular standpoint. The only reason that he is kind of, how can I put it? The only reason it's not is used against him is because, to me, the woman is not thinking. She's thinking emotionally, and she's thinking in the heat of the moment. She's not thinking like, okay, what if this actually really does hurt him? She's not thinking. She's thinking for her.
No.
I don't want this baby. Whatever reason, she's not thinking of the man. So that's why I say the man does have power, but it's not his fault. He tries to use the power to his advantage as much as he can. But like you said, woman feels like it's in me. It's inside of me. It's my baby. So I have the final say so because I birthed the child. Whereas, but sex takes two.
Right.
I'm the one that you're the one that allowed me to birth the child for you. So I don't understand where it's like they think about, women think about them with the baby and everything. It takes two for sex. It takes two. It's energetic. Women are receiving energy and men are giving energy from down to the spine. I'm sorry.
Because that's the thing. Like, men should have a say so in it, but in reality they don't.
No.
That's the thing, because it's like, if you look at the laws that go through with this particular situation, it's like men don't have any say as to whether the child should be born or not. The woman does. Absolutely. So it's like we could sit and say all day that men should, but at the same time, the stats and the reality shows that men don't. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yep.
And to like get my thoughts on the whole abortion thing is that at one point I did believe that abortion was okay at one point. And the more I get older and the more I start looking at the way the world is moving, I really don't agree with abortion, to be honest with you. And the reason why I say that is because, first off, it's showing people how to be irresponsible. That's one thing. And that's a part of the reason why the world is moving the way it is. Not even just in this particular situation, but people are not being responsible for certain things that they do, or being having more of a thought process before they do certain things. So when you eliminate consequences for certain stuff, that pretty much tells people that, okay, I can do this and do that and not have to worry about this. Oh, if I wind up getting pregnant, well, I could just get rid of it. It don't matter. And that's why a lot of women nowadays are pretty much having sex unprotected, because they feel like, okay, I got birth control, or I can just get rid of the baby if I just so happen to get pregnant. And that's just messed up, because that's not the way God intended for us to use what we're capable of having. Giving birth to a child or being able to create a child is a gift that God has given us to do. And the fact that it takes a biological man and a biological female to be able to create that goes to show that that's a gift that God gave men and women. That men by themselves cannot create a child, and a woman by herself cannot create a child. It takes both genders in order to be able to create that child. So to be able to sit there and use that gift and abuse that gift goes to show that we don't have any integrity, and we don't have any integrity and we don't have any responsibility, I would say. And I just feel like that's just why a lot of women now are having so many abortions now, because they feel like they don't have to deal with the consequences of it. And even though like you can have some biological effects by doing it, you could even tell like some women that did have abortions, they have a psychological thing where they still felt like they was bonded with the child in a way, and they still sometimes regret that decision. Some women don't, but I just honestly feel like abortion just eliminates the whole responsibility that a person's supposed to have when you making a decision and having a child. And having a child is supposed to be a process, not something, okay, I just slept with somebody, oh, they wind up getting pregnant, so let's just get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, that's just my thoughts on that. So I'm against abortion, to be honest with y'all. So that's what Tony thought. Tony.
I really ain't got nothing to say, because everything you said low key is what I was gonna say, man. Yeah, just to recap what you said, it get rid of accountability.
Yeah.
Because if you know you always got a way out, you gonna keep doing the reckless act, knowing that you can be protected from the reckless act. So, but if there's a punishment for your reckless act, you'll think twice before doing it. So since everybody know abortion is a way out, that actually enables them to keep being reckless. So, because I was saying there was a fine line, and the only thing I was saying was a fine line because what you saying is like 95%. That's what I'm saying. But the 5% is mistakes happen. But then again, because I was gonna say, you got contraceptives, you know, like condoms, because condoms bust or whatever. So even if you use a protection and a mistake still happen, I was gonna allow for like 5% leeway with that. But then again, now that I think about it, I still can't say that either, because every time you have sex, you already agreeing to the chances of you might get pregnant. True. Just the act alone means you're going to be put in that situation. If we do this, even if I don't come up pregnant, the fact that we doing the act, the fact that we doing what it takes to get pregnant, understand a pregnancy might come out of this because we doing what it takes to have a baby.
That's true.
So sex is just an action alone. So that's why they always say, you know, they're saying the best way to prevent like that and diseases is abstinence. But of course, in the world we live in today, ain't nobody on that. Right. But on some real stuff, that's literally the answer to things. Unless you like got married and like y'all make this plan that y'all want to have kids, but just out here just screwing people on some casual dating stuff. Right. Nobody's practicing abstinence. So since that's just the world we live in, it don't make it right and it ain't right. So yeah, just based off what you said, man, like it's 1,000% wrong. Abortion is 1,000% wrong, because if you don't even want to be having that talk, don't do what it takes to have a baby. Just have sex. So, and I know all this biology, you know, we get cravings, and yeah, that's true. But that's why God knew what he was doing. If you never had sex to begin with, you don't know what you're missing. But once you get a taste of it, now you would never, you always want it. So, that's true. I mean, the basic answer is just don't have sex, or like refrain from having sex. But since everybody that has sex before, you know what it feel like, now you never want to say, I don't want to stop no more. The only one who knows that is a virgin, because they don't know what it's like. So they can actually be like, well, I don't know what I'm missing, so I'm cool. But then it's crazy, because nowadays, they just let you know how wicked the world is, because the virgin women that do exist nowadays, they're curious now. So it ain't even like back in the old school days where when they was a virgin and they didn't even like, you know, like thoughts would pop up, but it was never no desire or drive to like, I need to know what's going on now. Like, it'll just be a thought and they just be like, okay, like back in biblical days. But currently today with social media and women, everybody showing their body, and to the point where you used to get excited when you see a girl with a skirt that came up to her knees. Now that everybody's showing their body on Instagram, you literally desensitized to it. So now, since everybody's showing their body, there's no mystery no more. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy. So since there's no mystery no more, and women just show they just broadcast it so willingly, now the virgins that's looking at those accounts, they like, man, okay, man, it look like these girls when they be sexy and promiscuous, like they make being promiscuous look sexy. That's what the virgin mind is thinking now, because now the virgin mind thinks she's missing out, because the promiscuous girls is putting on a show like it's all great, and a virgin girl is she's only wondering what could life be like if she joined that side. Right. So even the virgins that's currently in 2022, they're not virtuous. They just virgins today, but they'll lose their virginity tomorrow. Just because they're virgins today, they're not going to stay that way. It's just the ones that's virgins today, they just haven't had sex yet. Give it a week or two. Give it a month. Because it's too much curiosity and it's too much sex being thrown at them. Well, now they want to try it because they're curious now. So, that's the best way is just to avoid sex. But since, of course, that would never happen. But that's really literally the answer to it. So instead of having to even have abortion as a conversation, the best way to avoid even having that talk is just don't have sex. But since we live in the world we live in, that'll never happen. So.
But you know what? I would even say, like, because I don't even believe that the leading causes behind most of this is because of faulty condom. If you know what I'm saying, I feel like a lot of people are just having sex unprotected.
As
to why, so even if you do decide to have sex, a lot of y'all are having sex unprotected.
Exactly.
That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? So
and they'll start off with the condom and then take it off.
You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the reason why we having the issues that we having with women wind up getting pregnant and then they going to turn around and get an abortion instead of just having sex protected. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I've even heard some women sit there and say, okay, so what if you have a situation where you get raped and stuff like that? And we know those things do happen. Oh, I can't say the R word. I'm sorry, y'all.
Grape.
Yeah. We understand that we have those situations that happen. And those are just situations that don't happen on the mass scale, but it does happen. But a lot of people say, okay, well, how can I put it? Because from what I understand, most people getting abortions not because of that particular situation. A lot of people are getting abortions because they have sex unprotected.
Yeah, it's bad.
You know what I'm saying? So now I can understand the whole situation where if you have that issue that happens, and it wasn't a consensual situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get that. I understand that. But that's not what the issue that most of this is coming from. We're just coming from the aspect of having sex unprotected. Now, if we were sitting here saying that, okay, a lot of women are getting abortions because they had that unconsensual sex situation, then that'd be a different topic. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a different subject to talk about. But that's not what they're saying I can't even say the word statistics. Statistics. I can't say the word. That's not what the stats. That's not what the stats are showing. The stats are showing pretty much that a lot of people are just having sex unprotected.
Exactly.
And they wind up getting pregnant because they didn't. I mean, getting abortion because they didn't want the child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, it just comes down to being responsible. To be honest with you. So.
And then I'm gonna say this too to add to the whole, because of course I forgot about the whole if the girl gets raped. Even with that, you would think about it being unconsensual. You would be so disgusted about it, because if I was a woman and that happened to me, I would go immediately to like a clinic or a doctor or something. Yeah. So because they got pills, they got stuff where you could prevent the egg from even, you know what I mean? So for the girls that had that happen to them and they just don't do nothing, and I'm like, I get being so traumatized that you don't want to tell family members and loved ones, but you can tell a random doctor, because, and then the doctor will be like, oh, you want to take this pill? So yeah, because I'm pretty sure he released in me and I don't want to have this. So even though it's still taking a life, you cutting it before it even becomes something.
Yeah.
So if the women that got raped did that, instead of just when they got raped, they just left it alone and let months go by. Now they start showing like, so if you want to be technical, that still goes back on a woman, because she can't help the great part. We're not talking about that. Right. We're talking about what you do after that situation happened. Because like you say, you would think by being unconsensual, you would be so traumatized, you'll go straight to a clinic or like the next day or something like that and be like, this happened to me. Can I take a pill? Because I don't want to have this person's thing. I don't want to have this person's baby. You know what I'm saying? Because it was unconsensual, it was forced. You know what I mean? That just lets you know, and that's another thing. That's why I kind of question like when women throw that word around. It's just like,
that's the first thing they jump to,
bro. You know what I'm saying?
Situation. I'm like, how many of y'all even deal with that situation on a daily basis anyway?
Exactly.
Most of y'all haven't even dealt with that particular situation. You may know somebody that has had that situation, but most of your people you around don't never have that situation.
Exactly. And like I said, and even for the ones that do, because they always so quick to throw, oh, I was great, and I'm like, you can't help that, because that's unfortunate. But you're not gonna sit up here and tell me you got great. I'm just saying, I might be bold, it may be mean, but it's just the truth. This goes back to accountability. Women don't hold no accountability, because these are the words that come out of their mouth about how traumatizing it is, which I'm sure it is, because we men, so we're the stronger vessel. But if we was a woman for a day and that happened to us, and somebody physically stronger than us, we can't beat them up and they take it. You would think that being so traumatized, I'm like, man, like, because he beat up, do it, and then he run. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm going straight to a clinic or something, like, like crying, or like, like, he took it from me. Is that something I can take because I'm so drunk? Crying. I don't want to have this person. There's a stranger's kid that just took it from me. Yeah. So it's like, you would think women will be so traumatized. Like I said, then they're gonna say, well, what if you don't want to tell nobody? I get family members and like people, because that'd be a secret. Like, but you have that, and you have your health. You could go to a doctor and just tell them, like, can I take a pill or something for this? But for them just to not do nothing, let it happen, and then just have it eating at their mind, and months go by, and now they showing, and it's like, why would you be so traumatized that you would let that child form in you? You would think it'd be so jacked up that it'd make your mind say, oh, hell no. Like, can I take a pill for this? I just did. When this happened, I just got like an hour ago. This just happened. You know what I'm saying? Take action.
That's true.
But women, like, they'll cry about it, but don't take action. And then when it formulate, now they, like you said, then by women like being natural nurturers, now a bond is coming. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now they finna bond with the child that was given to her by a person that raped her. Like, why would you even want to go through that?
That's true.
So it's just like, and that's not harsh. That's just telling the truth. And I know women gonna get mad and get their panties in a bunch, but it's the truth. If it's that traumatizing, go and act on the act that was traumatizing by getting rid of it. Like, the moment it happened, go to a doctor. Because, what if it happened at night? Exactly. Okay, if it happened late at night, the clinic open in 6 hours. If it happened 2 a.m, when it open up at 7, 8 a.m, go to the nearest clinic. Like, there's no excuse. Yeah. You can go there and be like, look, I got to, you guys have to put something yet, because I had this happen, a horrible experience happened to me. I want to take this pill because I don't want to get pregnant by this person that took it from me. Oh yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? So that way you nipping it in the bud before it even formulate into something. Because the eggs take minutes to like, you swim them down, like, so you could cut it off before it even get that bad. Yeah. So now, of course, if you want to talk about the olden days when they didn't have like They after pills, like when they got raped in medieval times or what.
Yeah.
Now that's you know what I'm saying? Because like, that wasn't popping back then. Like you couldn't just like, oh, well, just take this and you won't like if whatever happened, they just got stuck with it. But like in the modern world today, like if that happens to a woman, she has no excuse. She can literally just dip it in the bud before she even becomes pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like there's ways to stop it. So when I sit there and see women just sit there and let it happen and let the baby come, and then let's just say if they decide to abort the baby, you literally let it formulate in your stomach and then be like, all right, now it's time to get an abortion. Like, why? Like, you know what I'm saying? So now you're gonna have a conscience because life is formed in your stomach. You know what I'm saying? The baby got legs and arms. You know what I'm saying? You like 8 months now, and now you want it. Like, come on, bro. Like, so to me that's messed up. Now it's like you literally taking a life away because the baby has formed now. 6 months, 5 months. When you could have just nipped it the night that it happened. Went to the clinic, took a pill, and then it would have never even affected nothing. True. So it's just, I don't know. It's a lot of things women they like I said, outside of the grave, it's a lot of stuff they got control over to take action based off of what happened to them, and they just don't. They just let it happen, and then when it becomes something and formulate, now it's like, oh, woe is me. But it's like you could have did something about that. Not the act. You could do something about what happened after the act happened to you. You could take action, but they don't.
True. Yeah, that's true.
But I know if I'm traumatized, I'm going straight to them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna be, oh, let me let this fester, and I'm gonna cry about it. And if I just get pregnant by Michael Myers' son, it's just what it is. Like, if I have his son, it's just like, what? No, I'm gone. I'm straight to the go. Can I take 2 pills or whatever pills? Okay, yeah, this just happened. Yeah, 2 hours ago. Okay, take these what's name. It'll cut it off. It's like the plan B. It'll, all right, cool, thank you. And go on about your day. Now, of course, that's going to live in your mind because that's a traumatic experience. But at least you will feel good knowing, like, oh, my God, I'm not going to bring an unwanted killer's baby in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll feel better on that part. So, of course, you're going to be still traumatized that the act happened. So that will always live with you. But at least you know you did something about it. Yep. But they'll have that act live with them, not do nothing about it, and then have the baby or get real close to it and then get aborted.
And I would even say, like, women, if y'all have friends that you know had abortions, ask them why they get abortions. It ain't because of that particular situation. Exactly. I promise you that.
Fact. They just irresponsible. Yeah. That's it. What's that?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And if if they have been through that situation, I understand it. That's different. I feel like abortion should be reserved for those particular type of situations. It shouldn't be freely for all people to use. You know what I'm saying? For their leisure in a way. You know what I'm saying? Or to help their situation. But I just feel like that would be better used for those that go through stuff like that, those traumatizing, unpredictable type of situations. So, yeah.
What would y'all think about, because some states banned abortion. Like, I think it's a couple states that said abortion is illegal.
One Texas, one of them?
I think Texas is one of them.
Yeah, I heard
Alabama, Oklahoma, Kansas, if I'm not mistaken, Arkansas, and I think Iowa.
So all the states you named, these are the ones that banned.
These are the ones that actively made it illegal for abortion.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be y'all take on that? Me personally, I'm gonna just say my take. Now with that one, it's kind of a.
Well, you saying like if certain states
like made it illegal for abortion.
So instead of everybody doing it, you just talking about
certain states did. I say my opinion on that one, it's kind of a 50-50 with that one because with the grape situation, it doesn't like majorly happen, but with the grape situation, that if it happens to a woman and if she's in that particular state, that's kind of effed up because in that state they're like, oh, I want something because I got raped by a man or something, and it's like,
now look, I'm so glad you said it because I didn't even think about that. Now are we assuming the baby has already formed? Or they like if they did what I said and like went straight to
the clinic,
right? Like, they say you can't do that either, or I'm thinking they mean you can't, like when the baby's starting to form, you can't get an abortion.
I would say that
I think it's all of it.
If it's all of it, I can admit that's messed up.
Yeah,
because they trying to prevent it before it even form. They like, no, you can't even do that. You just gotta let it. That's messed up. If that's the
clinic, what you said, the clinic portion, like,
I'm like,
baby is not even formed yet.
It's,
you like you said, still swimming. It's like, okay, I want to. Unfortunately, if they're in that state that like, that's illegal. That's kind of messed up.
Right, if that's the case, that government or whoever run that, they jacked up.
But that's why I said that it should be across the board for all states. Meaning
illegal abortion?
No, not illegal abortion. Meaning that it should abortion should be reserved across all states for all those that go through a particular situation as far as something as traumatizing as that.
Okay.
those that have that particular case that happens to them, then that's when they get abortions because that's something you didn't have no consent over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if it's something
If
like
it's consensual,
yeah, it's consensual, or you just at one moment y'all was having sex, and then at one moment you was like, I don't want to do this, and then he, you know, or not even just that, or y'all just does have consensual sex, and you just somehow wind up getting pregnant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think that should be the term for using a abortion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when they willingly, because I'm with you on that one, when they willingly, like consensual and everything, and they willingly let the man release inside of them and everything, and then they know what happens
that's a
when
choice,
you
yeah.
release inside of a woman. They know what happens, and then they just like, oh, I'm gonna wait till 8 months pass. Baby said, I want an abortion. And I was like, come on, you knew what
you knew the act.
you know the
It took to
gestation
do that.
cycle.
And you know what's crazy? Because you have so many different things that'll prevent you from getting pregnant. You have a condom.
A lot.
You got Plan B. You got
Hold on a second. Tanisha, what do you mean? Well, married men will have a fit. Like, you want to elaborate a little bit on that? Because I'm kind of lost at what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I get it. Married men have a fit, but what are you talking about the situation?
yeah.
But go ahead, Drake.
But no, I was saying that you have so many different things that can keep you from getting pregnant. You know, you have condoms, Plan Bs, you have birth control, you have all those different things. Now, a lot of women say, okay, well, let's just skip the condom thing. Let's just talk about the Plan B and the birth control. It has affects the body for the females and stuff like that. So if you're concerned about that, which you have to pick the lesser of two evils. Would you rather go through the fact of having a child and potentially want to get an abortion, or going through whatever you got to go through to keep this child, or do you just want to have the Plan B and the birth control to prevent you from getting a child, or maybe just be more responsible in the beginning and not just have sex, and make sure you find the right partner to have sex with. That's why you get, that's why you got a lot of women having children out of wedlock and stuff like that. So if you go through the original process that you're supposed to go through, that way you don't have to go through none of that stuff. Exactly. Then you wouldn't have these issues. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I understand from the woman's side where it's like you got so many different things that you a lot of women kind of look at it as like they don't have the freedom as like men do. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have. They're basically saying that they don't have to go through these different avenues to have sex like we do. You know what I'm saying?
What avenues?
Meaning like they don't have, like we don't have to take Plan B. We don't have to take birth control and stuff like that in order to have sex freely. You know what I'm saying? Right. So they would sit there and say stuff like that as to why they got to be more reserved to have sex. So they get more of they got more consequences when they do,
and they should.
Than we do.
Right, but they can't get mad at us.
Exactly. They can't get mad at us for that. You know what I'm saying?
We're physically and genetically built
different
way. God built us that way.
But you know what's crazy? Because we'll sit there and say we're built different, and the stuff we just sat here and named goes to show that we're different, and then sit there and say we're the same, and say we should be able to do the same thing men can do. When it's like, look at the stuff you have to do in order to have sex compared to us. You know what I'm saying? She never answered the question.
No, not yet.
Okay. But yeah,
But yeah, I stand on that. Yeah, they should have more responsibility because there's a lot of stuff that men have that we're more responsible of that don't affect women, but it's just the onus is more on us. So they go back to what you're saying. We not the same. We different. So we got stuff that got more onus on us. Women got stuff that's more onus on them. So and sex is one of those things because remember, sex don't happen unless they get the green light. So it should have more onus on you. The woman should have more responsibility on her when it comes to sex because she decides whether the sex goes down. Well, like we said, other than great. And we already told you what you could do if that happens. But like man said, women kill me because and that's another thing because that's why integrity is a big thing. So even if they have the laws about it's only permissible in these instances, you would have to assume people is willing to be honest. And that's the sad thing because even though you can have the laws describing how it should go, in a world full of liars, especially if the lie benefits them, they're not going to tell the truth. They're going to lie. So that's why you could say, you would say, well, it's only used for grave situations, which makes perfect sense. But, of course, every woman will say, oh, he raped me. That's just from a touch. But, you know what I'm saying? So they'll take something that's real and use it just for any reason. Just because they know that's a powerful word and they can get away with it. Yeah. So all they can be like, oh, if he looked at me wrong or he looked at me crazy in the workplace, he raped me with his eyes. You know what I'm saying? About how he looked like. So you taking something that's serious and you applying it just to anything just because you know it's power behind that word. So it's just now you have to assume that people that's using that word is going to be honest, which clearly is not. And you can thank the Me Too movement for that. Because they show you all the cases of women capping. You know what I'm saying? And then they getting away with it and guys getting locked up because they was capping. Because they know their word is so powerful they can get men in trouble. So it just... this world is all screwed up, bro. But like I said, y'all, the women should have more onus on them. And I say it again, the more onus should be on y'all because y'all decide whether sex go down or not. You can't have sex unless you give us the green light.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, outside of force. So of course we're talking about outside of force. And what man said is real because it's way more people making bad decisions than rape happening. It's way more people making irresponsible decisions as opposed to people getting raped.
True.
Okay. She said, if they make abortion illegal or make abortion for certain reasons because women are pressured to have abortion by the married man if they get pregnant by a married man.
So and I figured because I thought she was gonna say because I've heard women say that their husbands rape them too. I've heard wives say that like, oh, your husband can rape you. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But
No, wait a minute. Before you answer, I'm trying to figure. Is she talking about husband and wife, or
Right, 'cause she said-
yeah, because she said the
woman-
husband's gonna be mad. So,
Right, but see, she said by a married man. That can mean like if somebody's having an affair.
Right. That's what I'm trying
See,
to
that's what I'm saying. That's
right.
that's
So right, I'ma just
Illegal
assume. See that
women.
I'ma assume she means just her and her husband, like the woman and the woman and the
Right.
husband, not
Right,
cheating
right.
just that married couple. Ask her that. Like, do you mean just that married couple?
Do you mean a married couple, or you mean like somebody's like having an affair,
Right.
or get pregnant by that married
by
man,
that married
not
man, right.
her married, not that person
But I'ma assume she's
cheating?
When
He's
he's
cheating.
cheating.
So in the
Ah,
face.
see, I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
So, if she has a husband, we'll just say, and then she sleeps with another man that's married, and she's pregnant by the other man. What is
Right.
she saying? Is abortion okay?
Right.
No, because you shouldn't have been cheating.
Ooh, yep.
That literally nips that in the bud. You have a whole husband, and instead of becoming pregnant by your husband, which is who you married under God, you got pregnant by another guy who made an oath under God to his wife.
And I would even say the same goes for men. If he went out and cheat and got another woman pregnant,
Yeah,
and he
exactly.
wanted her
Vice
to get
versa.
abortion and she wanted to keep the child, that's not on him because he shouldn't have went out and cheated.
Exactly. So, no, you should have been doing it. And they go back to what I was saying, just don't have sex. Of course, that's people ain't gonna do that, but literally that's the answer.
Right.
So to avoid that, just don't do the act. So you can't do the act and then get mad when you get the
So
consequences.
somebody said it should be up to that person what they want to do. It's their body. So basically saying
That's a woman saying that?
I don't know who that
That's
is.
Ronna. That's my cousin.
Who could?
Ronna.
It's not up to anyone to tell someone what to do with their body.
So now this is who saying this?
Ronna.
Rana, you said it should be who? It should be up to that person?
Yeah,
So
basically.
it should be up to
It's up
So
to-
since it's the
up
woman's
to-
body giving birth to the child, she
should
should
be up
have
to
to
her.
say so or what to do with the child.
But how if the reason you even have that child is because of the man's seed? Without the man's seed being in your stomach to formulate a kid, you wouldn't have a decision to make.
And then on top of that, what if the man, what if the man is taking a chance on becoming, what if he wants to be a father and wants to give you, give his seed the fatherly love? You taking that chance from him too, because
Exactly.
you got some fathers out here that be like, okay, let's do this because I'm ready, and then no, I don't.
Yeah.
So you're taking that choice from him too. Is that fair?
No, it's not.
I don't
because
think that's fair.
and that's why we always say women are selfish because and I ain't gonna what's her name, Rhonda? Rhonda, that's very
Rhonda.
That's very selfish for you to say that because I mean it's crazy because you actually just proved that women only care about themselves and they don't care about what the man think. But remember, it takes two to make a child. So in order for you to even have an argument about whether you doing what you want to do with the child that's in your stomach, it took that man's seed to bust in you to even have a kid. Because if there's no sex, you ain't arguing about nothing because you ain't got no kid because you ain't pregnant because the seed is not in you. So for you to even talk as if, oh, we don't need the man's seed. I just woke up one day and I was pregnant. If that was the case, then you could talk your stuff. Because you don't need a man's seed to get pregnant. But obviously you do. So you can't talk like that because it takes two to have sex. So for you to even come from a selfish standpoint, even though it takes two to have sex, that shows how selfish you are.
Okay, here we go. Let me see. And if I can do this, because I'm always messing it up.
What's the video called?
Yeah.
She calling in?
Yeah, here we go.
Please.
Let me see.
Let's do it. I'm for
I'm
real.
at the
Like, let's
hotel.
do it. Let's do it.
Let's go.
She should be coming in a minute.
I mean, that's just.
Because she's basically trying to say it's her body, it's her
There we
choice
go.
what to do with.
Let's do it.
Hello.
Can you hear me? I
I
can't even hear her.
Because usually it's because that thing plugged, but you unplugged it. So
Unplugged it.
Yeah.
Rhonda, can you hear me?
All your buds.
Oh, crap. My ear. Hold on a second. Oh, shoot. I didn't even know that thing was on. Okay. Can you hear me? Oh, there we
Okay,
go.
there we go.
I'm sorry. I had my Bluetooth hooked up.
I'm not being selfish.
There we
I'm
go.
just saying, who is it for anybody to say, okay, well, you're going to do this? No, this is my body. Because I made the decision today to lay down with you. That don't mean I'm going to make the decision to have to be bothered with something growing inside of my body.
Okay, no, but the question is, why don't y'all have a talk like that as adults, whether you don't mind having kids or not? Because if that's not even a conversation,
I feel they should have had that conversation before they laid down.
that's my point. So since two adults is not communicating, now there's a problem that shouldn't be had y'all talked about it. So you can prevent that by talking.
It's
But
both of their fault. He laid down with her.
no. See, look, hold on. Now we go back. But this is why it goes back into circles, because sex doesn't happen unless the woman gives the green light. So he can lay down with her He can lay down with her with her consent. He can lay down with her with her consent. If she says no and he takes it, now he's wrong because it's force. If there's no force, she has to give the green light for him to do it.
Again, it's both of their decision to have that child.
If they both agree and said we both want to have kids, because you got people that do that too. They'll agree and then they'll change their mind, because people always change their mind. But outside of that, if y'all both agree to have a child, and y'all go through the process, you know y'all have sex or whatever, and the woman be like, I want to get rid of it now, like I changed my mind, that's unfair because y'all both agreed to have it. Now, if the man said I want a child and the woman said I don't, guess what that means? Oh, well, guess what? Since you want a child, I'm not finna let you inside me, because if you bust, you clearly want a kid, and I don't want a kid. So I'm not even finna put myself in that situation to argue with you because I don't want no kids. So since I know you do, you can't sleep with me. It's that simple. So if you don't want a kid and he does want a kid, and you open your legs to let him release inside you, even though you clearly told him you're not on that, that's your fault.
It's both of their fault.
No, that's your no. Hold on, you're not listening. You're not listening. You missed the point. If you made the point that you don't want a kid, if you made the point, now look, hold on. See, now answer my question. For example, like you said, the guy that wants the kid versus the woman that don't. Are you saying the woman don't want the kid and he does, or they both do? What are you saying?
I said they should have a discussion before they even lay down. If this happened.
No. You're right. That my question is that discussion you're talking about, because we could give two examples. It's two different examples. We could give an example if they both say yeah, or if the man say yeah and the woman say no. Which one?
If a woman says she don't want to have a child, she don't want to have a child.
Look. You're proving my look, hold on. You're proving my point. That's why questions matter. If she say no and he says yeah, if you know it's gonna be a conflict, don't let him sleep with you because you know what he on. Exactly. If he's on that, I'm not gonna know. If I'm a woman and I know he's on that and I'm not on that, I'm not gonna let him go inside me because I know what he's on.
That's the point. You're a man. You don't know what a woman goes through to have a child.
Look. See, you miss. Look, you know you're missing a point. You the only reason. Sweetie, you're not listening. You just proved my point. No, you're not listening. You talking about the aftermath. You're talking about the aftermath. But if you make the right decision to not let him inside you, you wouldn't have a choice to make. Because you would have nipped it in the bud because you know he's on that and you're not on that. Like, and this is funny because this is why women be killing me. Women always say this. Well, we don't mesh, the yin and the yang. We don't click. You're right. So since you don't click, don't go with somebody you don't click with. Because if you go with somebody you don't click with, it's going to cause problems in the future. So since you're not on that, and he clearly is on that, and y'all talked about that before the sex happened, that's why conversation is important. Because, oh, wait a minute, you let me know that you want to have a kid. I'm glad you said that because guess what? I don't want to have a kid. So you cool, but since I'm not on that, and you are on that, this is not going to work, so I'm not going to sleep with you because you already made it clear that you're trying to have a kid. And since I don't want a kid, if you bust inside me, I'm going to be mad at myself because you already told me what you want and I was dumb enough to sleep with you because you trying to have kids. So since I'm not on that, have a nice day. I'm not even finna put myself in that situation because if I come up pregnant, I'm going to be pissed. So I'm not going to give you none because you're trying to have kids and I'm not. It's literally that simple. Now, if you talk like that and still give them some, that's your fault.
Yeah. I agree. That's on you. It's on the woman's fault.
You still on?
I'm trying to see. I was trying to hook this speaker up, but no, it's not this one. It's this one, but it's hooked up to something. I don't know what it is. Oh,
Technical
wow.
difficulties, everybody.
Yeah. There we go. We
All right,
back.
paused.
Can you hear me, cuz?
Yeah, I can hear you now, cousin.
Okay, that was my fault.
Actually, did she hear everything I said? Or
Did you hear everything he said, or it went out?
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, because I was trying to hook up this speaker. That's why.
No.
Something is on.
All right. So I'm gonna go back to what I was saying. If y'all had that conversation, that I'm not on that, you are on that. So since I'm glad we having this talk that you trying to have kids and I'm not. If I let you inside me knowing that you're trying to have kids and I don't want kids, I'm gonna be mad at myself and I'm gonna be mad at you because I'm gonna be mad at myself because I know I don't want kids and I still let you inside me. So in order to avoid the argument and avoid the confrontation, you're not gonna have sex with me at all because if you bust inside of me, I'm gonna be pissed. So in order to prevent that, we ain't even gonna have sex because you clearly told me what you want. So I'm glad we had this talk. You a nice person, but I'm not trying to have sex because if I get pregnant, it's gonna be a war because I'm not trying to have kids and you are.
Hold on.
So
Hold on a second, Rhonda. Stay on. I'm about to hook this speaker up so we can hear you better. Don't hang up.
Okay.
I should be able to. Where is it? Bluetooth. I'm gonna have to. Oh shoot! I don't know why it didn't pop up. These phones is retarded like Sean's. Where's she at? She probably still on that though. Oh, dang! Where's the setting at?
You looking for the Bluetooth?
Yeah, but if I hit it from up there, it won't connect. I got to go in this one manually. Oh. I just got to find settings.
Right there.
Oh, there we go. I just have to call it back. It's called this one right here. It should pop in.
Connected.
There we go. Okay, let me see if she's still on. Man, this thing is, oh my God. Okay. There we go. Cuz, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. All right, Tone.
okay. All right, so like I was saying, to make it real simple, this is why you have to listen to what people say. You clearly said earlier, well, I said it, and then you agreed. You was like, I said they need to have a conversation prior, so it won't be no BS later on. You was like, right, you agreed. So that conversation consists of, if I'm the girl and I'm like, nah, I don't want kids, and he like, well, man, I'm on it, I want some kids. The smart thing for the girl to do is like, you know what? So since I know you own that, I don't even want to have sex with you because I don't want no mistakes or the possibilities of me coming up pregnant because you clearly want kids. Hold on. You clearly want kids. No. Hold on. You gotta let me finish my point.
I decided to have my kids.
What'd she say?
A lot of women don't want kids.
Okay, right. So you like I said,
if they don't want kids, why do they wind up having them then?
How come there's so many kids in the DCFS system?
Huh? Oh, okay, hold on. First of all, we going off you going way off. Going back to my point. The reason. See that I was just cool. She said she can't hear me.
It's on.
Can you hear?
Can you hear now? Am I clear on your end or?
Maybe not. Can you hear us?
I hear like a delay too.
Hello, Rhonda. Can you hear me?
It's going in and out.
See? I was just cool with the regular speaker, with just the phone. Yeah, just keep throwing my mojo off.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, 1 second, everybody. I got disconnected.
There you go. All right, Tom.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, okay, so can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, like I was just saying, it literally, we are the answer to our own problems. In order for it to become a problem, that's why conversations are important prior, because based off the conversation, you know what's your next move. So since you know this person is trying to have kids and you not trying to have kids, why have sex and even put that risk of having kids in the air because you don't. If you don't want kids, don't put yourself in a situation to have kids. But see, people don't see, and this is real adult talk.
People stop sleeping around the way that they are doing.
Exactly. So that's my point. You got too many people crying over stuff that they got control over. If people will make better decisions, their life will be better than what it is. People want to make all these dumbass choices, and then they want to blame everybody else for stuff that they did. No, that's your fault. That's your fault. If you know this person is on page A and you on page B and y'all both supposed to be on page B, but he on A, don't mess with page A because he's over there. He's not on the same page as you. But y'all will, and this is what kills me about women. Women clearly know he's on this type of time, I'm on this type of time, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then whatever happens, just happen. And then get mad and blame the world. No. If you know he's on that and you not on that, don't put yourself in a position now that y'all arguing that. Because you ain't got nobody to blame but you because you knew he was on it and you still did it. If you know he's on that type of time and you still do it anyway, that's your fault.
But yet it's still it's my fault.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And look. And you know what? And you know the only excuse?
Hold that baby in her body.
What she say?
Wait, what? Say that again.
It's still up to her what she doing with her body.
No, but the reason is up to you what you do with your. Actually, it ain't. But the fact that you even talking like that, you never would have talked like that if you never would have slept with a man that wanted kids anyway. When you clearly didn't. See, this is what you missing. You talking about the aftermath. You talking about after the dumb decision has been made. Had you made the right decision, you wouldn't be in the position.
You're thinking about from a man perspective.
No, sweetie. It's called logic. No, it's called logic. When you play when you play a stupid game, you get a stupid prize. If I do something that I know is dumb, I can't blame somebody else for something that I knew that was stupid.
But that's the thing. It's not a game. You talking about?
No. It's an example. It's an example. I'm just saying, if I do something that I know is wrong, and I do it anyway, I can't get mad at the results because I knew it was wrong. That's all I'm saying. It don't even get rid of the game example. I'm just saying that was just an example. All I'm saying is if I'm conscious of a choice that I know that I'm doing, and I do something dumb, knowing and I know what the bad result can be, and I know this, and I still do it, that's my fault because I knew the risk and I still did it. The only way you're innocent is when you do something and and that's why I always say this. You got mistakes and you got bad choices. We live in a world where everybody said, I made a mistake. And I always tell people this, and this is just me thinking this, but I know it's real. There's way more bad choices than mistakes. And I'm going to break it down again like I always do. A mistake is something that you did with good intent, very good intentions, and it backfired. You didn't mean for it to go bad. You had a good heart and it backfired on you. That's a mistake. Bad choices is something that you consciously made, knowing it's going to be knowing it's going to be a bad outcome, but you keep telling yourself it's going to work out. Then when it don't work out, you're mad at everybody else. People make a lot of poor choices.
But you got to be mad at yourself.
No, look. People make a lot of poor choices. Mistakes are every once in a while. But the world we live in, people try to make mistakes the norm. A lot of people make bad choices. Mistakes only happen sometimes. But women will take the thing like sleeping with a guy that they know is a thug and have a baby by me that, I made a mistake. That wasn't a mistake. You made a bad choice.